Hello, I'm Kelly and welcome to my Flosstube channel, Animal Instinct. It's Monday the 21st of April 2025 and I'm back today to share my cross-stitch plans for May, so something slightly different. I'll be back in a couple of weekends to do my end of April, just regular monthly update, but I've been going through sort of my projects that I want to stitch on in May and thought it might be fun to film a video. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you're well and enjoying your stitching. Thank you to all of my existing subscribers and welcome if you're new. Happy Easter to those of you who celebrate it. And if you just get a nice break, I hope you're making the most of it. I am definitely appreciating a long weekend. And here in Australia and New Zealand, we also have, so today we have Monday off. And this coming Friday is also a public holiday. It's Anzac Day, like a Memorial Day. So very short week ahead. I think most of Australia, possibly New Zealand, have taken the days off, Tuesday to Thursday off, to have a nice long break. I wasn't able to do that, but yeah, I appreciate the time off that I can get. So, because it's a long weekend, I've got a bit of extra time on my hands. I've been going through my whips and have pulled out what I'm going to be working on in May, and I'm going to be joining along with Jo from Blushy Stitches and Emma X Stitching and probably many others stitching on Mermaids in May, also known as Mermaynia. If you can hear some noises in the background there, it's feeding time at the zoo. Cats are having their brekkie and I'm having my coffee. So Mermaynia, I've pulled out all of my mermaid themed projects and I'll go through them today, show you where they're all up to and sort of what I'm thinking about my approach is going to be for May stitching. May is a really good month to do some themed stitching if you're interested, if you haven't given it a go before. I think it started back in 2015. I definitely have not done my homework, so could be wrong, but with Stitchmania, there used to be a really great Facebook group that's no longer around now called Stitchmania, and I think the first Stitchmania was held in 2015, and I think I didn't take part in it back then, but I think the idea was to start a new project for every day for the first 15 days in May. And then over the years, that's morphed into lots of different configurations to suit different stitches. So back in 2020, I did my own whip mania where I worked on a different project every day in May. That was fun, challenging. I had to be very organised and I don't think I'd do it now. I mean, I probably could if I wanted to, but it doesn't really appeal to me. That's one option. And actually I'm just looking down here because little Reggie, my cat, he came, I adopted him that May when I was in the middle of whip mania. He came home, I think it was the 8th of May, so that'll be 5 years ago. Amazing. But other themed stitching in May includes monogamous May, where you pick one project and just work on it exclusively for the whole month and see how much progress you can get. I don't think I've done that in May, but I've definitely done that on my big project Firefly, and I had 1 month where it was really successful, and I think the second time I tried it, it didn't go so well. I am thinking about doing a monogamous month on that piece at some stage this year. I'm just not quite sure which month that will be. What else is there? Mirabilia May, Manning May, where you stitch on Carolyn Manning piece. Some people like to try and finish off pieces. There's lots of different things. And Mermaynia, stitching on mermaids in May is also popular. I'd love to know what you're stitching on, especially if you're doing any themed stitching for May. So please let me know in the comments. I'd love to get some inspiration. But I've got how many have I got? Hang on. 7 mermaid projects. I don't know if I thought I had more or less. 7. 7's quite a lot. Anyway, I'll go through them, show you them now, and then I've put them onto a Tiny Decisions app, and I'm going to spin the wheel to see which project I'm going to work on. So the first one, this is in order, this is like in chronological order of by start date. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. And the first one I don't have the cover sheet for, which is a bit annoying, so I'll pop a photo in here, and it's Mermaid's Folly by the Courtney collection. I started it on the 22nd of March 2020. This has been going for a while. And this is where it's at. So I've done, you know, a fair amount. It's on 40 count linen from Pictures Plus in Murky, and I'm stitching it with DMC 3371, one strand of DMC over 2 fabric threads, so 1 over 2. A little bit closer. So I remember I started smack bang in the middle, which was around here. And then I did like a page column. So I think it's 7.5 pages wide and maybe 2.5 deep or high. So I did one full page column, and then I came and did the second one, and I started on the third one. It would be nice to try and finish that if I could, but who knows. It would be nice to pull this one out. This one I'll work on it intensely for a certain amount of time, and then it goes away for ages. And I'd like to be further along than I am. So that's the first one. The second one, oh, I don't have her photo either. I'll have to put that in too. I think she's a mermaid. If she's not a mermaid, I'll call her an honorary mermaid. And this is Tempest by Leilani Joy. That's silly of me. Anyway, there should be a photo. It looks like the background is watery, aquatic, and she's got those sort of shell ornament thingies in her hair. So I think she could be a mermaid. I'm just going with it. I started her on so she's artwork by Leilani Joy. It's a Gecko Rouge kit, Tempest. Did I say that? Gosh, I need my coffee. I've still got my original start in here. So I started this one a long time ago, possibly in 2020, on the kit fabric. And then I realized like that is a lot of background. And then I found this fabric here, which is like an exact match. So put that away. I can actually repurpose that fabric. And I made a really small restart on this one back in 29th of January 2022. And I just started on her skin because I just wanted to see if the skin would look okay. It's very light, fair on that blue fabric. I didn't want her to look sort of sickly, but I think that's fine. So this has got a tiny pitiful start, but because I'm not doing the background, I'm already at 18% complete. So that's Tempest. The next one I started, 2023. So I did Mermaynia in 2023, and I did I was actually organised and I stuck to my plans, and this was one of the starts I had that year. And it's the Red Mermaid by RTO. Yeah, it's an RTO kit. Just wondering if the artist is on there. Oh, Victor Nizovtsev is the original artist. I don't think I've ever tried to say that before. This is a beautiful kit. There were a whole group of us that started this one that year, Joe and Emma did. I think that was the first year they did Mermaynia. Carol did, and Deb Wilson did as well. And actually Deb Wilson shared on her, I think it's her latest Flosstube, where she's at with this piece, and she's pretty much done from here down, I think. So she is really close to being done. I think pretty much she hasn't done what I have done. When you see what I've done, it's not that much. Okay, so this is where I'm up to on, sorry, the Red Mermaid. I'm doing this one on a piece of 32 count linen from number 12 Stitch Co. And it's called Outback Sky. And yeah, so I think Deb's pretty much got that much to go. But doesn't it look beautiful? Oh, can't wait to get back to this. Okay. The next one I started right at the end of 2024. And it's the Bella Filipina Stitch Long, the Blackwater Sirens Sow. I ordered fabric from Coffee Craft Fabrics and I got it sent to Joe in England, and I picked it up when I was there, and I couldn't help but start when I was there. So I started it on, I think, the 28th of December. I didn't actually write things down, so I think that might be just a guess. I've come home and carried on and done, I think I've done half of the beading in the first release, which is a treasure chest. And it's almost finished. I think there might be 1 or 2 releases left. So I'm well behind, but that's all right. I have it loaded up onto my scroll frame. So it's massive. I think it's a 28 count. Just see. Yeah, it must be a 28 count linen. She doesn't name her fabrics, but she did a big lot for this particular project. And I think it's beautiful. So that's what I've done. I can't see how well that's showing. You can possibly see me through it, the two, I'm not sure. But I'd like to finish that first. I'd like to finish the beading and then go and start the first siren, so that will be fun. Whoop, please don't. Stay. Okay, the next one is another piece I had sent to Joe's place and collected it when I was there, which was great. And this is from the Lorna Laine Stitchery Mermaid box. And this is, so it came with a few patterns, I can't remember how many exactly, and one of them was kitted up in box. So this one is that one, and it's called the Mermaid Marina. It's just beautiful. I started this when I got home. It was on 18th of January this year, so I haven't done a whole lot. It's still in the Q-snap actually. And it's on, so it's kit everything. So it came with the DMC. It's called, I think it's 28 count, it's 28 count casual linen, the opal type, sparkly. And I think it's called Crystal Splash. And that's my small start. I love the colours. How pretty are they? So I started right in the middle. Just reminding myself in this little bit here. Yeah, she's beautiful. Okay, I've got one more existing whip, which is cross stitch adjacent, and then I've got a new start as well. So I started this one on my birthday this year. I have shown it. I haven't stitched on it since I showed it. I'm not really sure what kind of craft you call this, other than really hard and intimidating. But it's called Purrmaid's Song. Look at it. It's a cat that's a mermaid sitting on rocks in the sea playing a harp in the moonlight. Oh, I think it's amazing. But it's not, yeah, it's new to me, this style of stitching. Okay, this is where I'm up to. The tail looks so good. And I've done her eyes. And I have to embroider her face next, which is scary, but I can do it surely. Then you actually cut her out and I think you make the sea and the rock, and then you attach her onto the rock. We'll see. I think I'm a long way from that. But anyway, that is number 6, and I'm including it in the month stitching. And then the last one is a new start. Jo and Emma are both starting this too. This is a Gecko Rouge piece. I think I've shown it before. Pretty sure I showed it when I received it. And it's another Lorna Laine piece. I really like Lorna Laine's artwork. And it's her mermaid, of course. So I'm sure I've showed this before, but the kits come beautifully packaged with a little gecko. I'm going to be stitching, oh, and I don't always get a needle minder, but I did get one this time. Maybe it came with it, possibly, can't remember. Anyway, there's a little needle minder. Going to be stitching her on 25 count Lugana, so they don't overlock serge the edges, so I'm going to leave this out today and just do that myself. That's the size of it. I think stitch count wise it's about 65,000 stitches from memory, so I think it'll be a similar size to her bee that I stitched. And then the only other thing really need to do, so this is how the threads come, and there'll be a needle in here. Stitching with one strand of thread, I find that the way the lengths they give you, so it's one long length just looped around, and there's lots of loops. These are all loops so that you can trim them to the length that you want, but I find stitching 1/1 on 25 count, if I just snip the loops, all of the loops, that's a perfect length for me. Definitely worth snipping them all, not just as you come to them, because if you miss a loop and then you try and prise a single strand out with your needle, which is what I do, you'll be in a world of pain. If you've done it, you'll know. You probably won't quite understand until you've experienced that yourself. But yeah, I will snip all the loops before I start, and I don't have an, excuse me, I don't have an overlocker, but I just use like a zigzag stitch around the edge of the fabric just to help with the frame. So I will do that. May as well do that today. So looking forward to starting her. I'm not going to get much done. I was vaguely thinking about picking the colour with the most stitches and doing like extreme cross country. I'm not sure. It's gridded fabric, so that helps with the counting. But I did see, like in Pattern Keeper, it gave you a nice outline, I think around here, and of her too. So I don't know. We'll see, because it's not like a straight up and down. There's no like distinct top left. in the piece. So I have to have a think about that. So that is my 7 mermaid pieces. Now what I've done is I've loaded them into the Tiny Decisions app on my phone. Just pull it up. I'm not really sure why, maybe because there's only 7. They've gone in twice. That's all right. What I think I'll do, there's 31 days in May, 7 projects. So 4 days a project with a few days wiggle room. That's not much. If I'm really enjoying it, I might carry on into June, but no promises. I might be sick of mermaids by then too. But the 1st of May is next Thursday. Is that right? Not this, so we're Monday today. Yeah, not this Thursday, but the Thursday after. And I'll do my monthly update that weekend. So I'll spin today to get my project for the 1st of May. And then when I do my monthly update, I'll spin for the 2nd project, which will start on the 5th of May. So let's have a look and see what's going to be number 1. There you go. It's going to be a new start, the Lorna Laine Mermaid. Fantastic. I definitely better sew the edges, snip the loops, and I will have that all ready to go. So that's it for me today. I'm going to go back and have a quiet day of stitching and just some boring like household stuff. I hope you're having a good stitchy weekend. And again, I'd love to know if you're doing any themed stitching in May. Let me know what you're doing. I'd love to hear all about it. And if you're filming on Flosstube or sharing on Instagram, let me know how I can follow along too. That'll be fantastic. Excellent. So until we meet again in a couple of weeks, happy stitching. See ya.